Hey guys, it's Woody, and I'm back once again for another video. So I tried to do a live stream earlier and the quality was horrible. So now I'm gonna record this and upload this for you guys. So basically my thoughts for today. Today, everybody's supposed to shut down for an hour, park on the shoulder unsafely, and or park wherever for an hour in protest of the ELD. So here's my thoughts on it. Number one, it's stupid.
Say a command.
Even the GPS agrees, apparently. It's a waste of time. It's not going to accomplish anything. And I predict that 99% of truck drivers aren't going to do it anyway. So anyways, we're not shutting down. And the main reason for that is because we have goals. We have things we want to get done. And we got loads to deliver. We have customer service to provide. And we have money to make. And shutting down, even for an hour, is just, it doesn't make any sense. Like, this is a business, you know. Interstate commerce is regulated by Congress. We only have the rights that Congress gives us to do this business. Really, any business. Businesses do not have the same rights that individuals have. So, you know, all this, oh, it's unconstitutional stuff, it's irrelevant, because a trucking business is not an individual. It does not have the same rights as an individual has. You know, you see all these guys complain about, oh, well, if you want to put it in the trucks, why don't you put it in the four-wheelers? Because guess what? Four-wheelers have individual rights, individual property rights. As soon as you take a vehicle and you apply it to a commercial operation, you no longer have the rights that you used to have, because now your rights are based on interstate commerce. You guys say, oh, this is unconstitutional. Well, I'd be surprised if hardly any of you actually read the Commerce Clause in the Constitution. If you haven't, go check that out. It tells you straight up in the Commerce Clause that Congress has the authority to set the regulations for intrastate and interstate commerce. All right? They did that when they agreed and passed the ELD mandate. Congress said this is the way it's going to be. All right? With the MAP 21 law and ELD mandate thrown in it, they agreed, hey, this is the way it's going to be. And until they decide to change it, that's the way it is. No amount of protesting or bitching and moaning or crying in DC or tweeting, hashtagging, all that kind of stuff is going to change it. All right? So it's here to stay. I'm not shutting down. My business isn't shutting down. And we're not parking our trucks for anybody. All right? That's just the way I look at it. You know, we've got people over here that have families to provide for, and it's an injustice to them if we tell them, hey, shut down because of some political BS. You know, we're not going to do that. You know, anyway, we're rolling up here through Georgia, heading back up, and we should be in Illinois tomorrow morning, make another delivery, and then hopefully head back down to Texas, and I can grab the other truck. But I'm not shutting down. It's not going to happen. ELD is here to stay, and this is what I said on Facebook. It's here to stay. Deal with it. Okay? However you want to deal with it is up to you. If you decide not to comply, fine. If you decide to comply, fine. That's up to you. You know, no one's ever told you, forced you to have a paper logbook or a ELD or anything. You know, just hope you don't get caught, pretty much. I mean, but if you want to be an outlaw, be an outlaw. Don't run the ELD. If you want to be compliant and keep your business open for the foreseeable future, get an ELD. You know, we're sitting here right now running as a team. The hours of service aren't even really affecting us, because if my driver here, if his hours run out, guess what? I got a full clock, I can run, and vice versa, you know? So you have to learn how to adapt to the new rules in order to keep your business operating. It doesn't matter what Congress says, we have to comply. Whether we disagree with it or not, the you know, the FMCSA, the DOT, everything else, they're going to enforce the rules that Congress says are constitutional. And that's what Congress has done with the ELD. So the amount of protesting and bitching and moaning is going to change that. And the funniest thing about it is these guys say, oh, I don't want to be watched. Well, then you probably shouldn't be in interstate commerce. If you don't want to be watched, you probably shouldn't be dealing with interstate commerce, because they're going to watch, they have the right to watch everything that you do to make sure that you aren't transporting things unsafely or illegally. All right? So, but the other thing that was hilarious to me is that these guys are bitching and moaning about how much the ELD costs, and that the ELD is going to cost them money, but then they take an entire week off to protest it and lose that whole week's worth of revenue. If you actually ran the week that you were shut down for, you could have made enough money to go buy an ELD and be on your way. So it's just, at this point, you know, it's lunacy. And, you know, where were you guys 4 or 5 years ago when this was first being implemented, when Congress had a comment period? Because that's how Congress works when it comes to interstate commerce. Before they pass a law, they say, okay, here's the open comment period. Where were your tweets? Where were your Facebook groups? Where were your protests? Where was all that back then? And the answer is, it was nowhere to be found, because you guys, and specifically the super truckers who are 100% anti-technology or whatever you are, you guys all said, oh, it'll never happen, they'll never pass that bill. Well, let me tell you something. When they open a bill up for comment period, that means they're about to get ready to pass the damn thing. So if you don't like it, you should probably leave some comments on there and get it shared around and let everybody know, hey, you need to comment on this before they pass it. So now the ELD battle is lost because you waited too long. You waited till like 2 months before it's going to be implemented. Too little, too late. You know, it's too late to try to shut down and change it now. You know, it's not going to change before the end of the year. It's just not going to happen. You're going to have to comply. Or don't. It's your choice. But, you know, if you don't comply, hopefully you don't get caught. That's just my thought on it. But anyway, this is going to ruffle some feathers, and I'm sure I'll get a few down thumbs. I really don't care. You guys screwed the pooch. You wanted to bitch and moan about the ELD for the past 10 freaking years, and then when it came time to actually comment on the bill that was going to pass it, all you guys wanted to say is, oh, that's not going to pass, that's not going to pass, blah, blah, blah. And then it passed, and then now you're freaking out 2 months before the implementation date. So, you know, we bring this stuff on ourselves. Now, we have some other battles that we can fight. The hours of service, speed limiters, governed trucks, all that stuff is things that we need to be fighting for. But there's so many people still beating the dead horse on the ELD that now we can't even come together on an agreement on the hours of service because you guys still just want to talk about the ELD when it's a lost battle. So if you guys really want to make some change, if you really want to change the trucking industry for the better, instead of just, oh, let's find something to bitch about, then we should be focusing on the hours of service and the FMCSA split sleeper burst study that's going on right now, which I will leave a link in the description for that so you guys can check it out. It needs to be spread around. The FMCSA is doing a split sleeper burst study. All right. So with that being said, if you guys have anything to add to this conversation, feel free to leave a comment below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay safe out there and try not to die.